The most unbothered and emotionally distant persons on the earth are Sigma INFJs. But why are people so terrified of them? Here are 10 reasons why everyone dislikes the INFJ personality type. Number 10. They move against the flow. People are afraid of those who are outside of their power. They are afraid of those who don't live up to their expectations, ideals, and values. Why? It's because they are unable to know their thoughts. And because Sigma INFJs are exactly like that. Individuals would prefer not to embarrass themselves in front of a Sigma INFJ than find someone else to dominate and manage. They prefer guilt-tripping someone who readily follows the rules and is easily swayed by peer pressure. The Sigma INFJs are intelligent beings who aren't concerned about what other people think. Thus, they can't be messed with. They act independently even if no one recognizes or approves, since they are not motivated by praise from others or external benefits. And as someone who enjoys their freedom to the fullest, standard setters may be scared off by Sigma INFJs. Was there ever a period in your life as a Sigma INFJ when you were subjected to peer pressure? Number 9. They are occasionally quite careless. Contrary to what most people believe, Sigma INFJs are not as considerate as they formerly were. Yes, they are understanding, kind, and sympathetic. However, that does not imply that they would cheerfully forego their own interests in order to protect someone else's. Being kind does not obligate them to act kindly even when doing so involves stepping outside of their comfort zone. Therefore, it is doubtful that someone will give someone a second chance when they don't respect them and treat them fairly. Their boundaries help children distinguish between acceptable and unacceptable behavior. They can put up with justifications and accept apologies, but they keep being let down by people's lack of sincerity. It is therefore not surprising that they frighten and frustrate those who are dishonest and insincere. Number 8. They reflect carefully. The Sigma INFJ should be feared by anyone attempting to deceive, lie, or betray them. Why? These smart, inquisitive, sensitive creatures can read people's minds like open books. They examine and enlighten everyone's inner truths, including those that others might be reluctant to reveal. Strong opinions can be formed regarding circumstances, especially those that they care about, thanks to their highly analytical minds. Once they have interacted with someone, they examine their behavior patterns and intents. From this point, they can comprehend their origins or current situation in life. Therefore, those who have a lot to hide shouldn't approach the Sigma INFJ. Due to the Sigma's interest, they will be questioned about the topics they don't like to talk about. Does this make you an INFJ Sigma more likely to overthink? Number 7. They are incredibly enigmatic. Because they don't know much about INFJs, folks are afraid of them. Anybody can be afraid of the unknowable and unpredictable, and Sigma INFJs are no different. That before interacting with or dealing with a person, most people would prefer to see what is beneath their mask. The same holds true for turning on the lights before entering a room that is dark. The Sigma INFJ is unique in that they never want to be known to the public until they are willing to. People will strive to understand some enigmatic parts of their lives, but they will only encounter the Sigma INFJ's dismissive response. The shadows of the INFJ Sigma are represented by the unknown and uncertainty. They believe it is not their responsibility to introduce the rest of themselves to a world that will only misunderstand and misinterpret them, so they just expose their persona. They won't accept somebody unless they are sincere, impartial, unusual, and reliable. They won't know their likes, dislikes, strengths, and weaknesses until they meet these people. Number 6. No matter what, they are ready to learn the truth. Sigma INFJs will go to great lengths to discover the truth since they are people who hunger and thirst for it. And for this reason, many people, especially those who lie, are afraid of the INFJ Sigma. No matter how plausible their falsehoods may seem to be, Sigma INFJs will eventually discover the truth. Thus, they cannot create Sigma with their meticulously and skillfully planned lies. While caring whether or not they are telling the truth, they may hear people expressing their frustration, sentiments, and concerns. They are aware that some people in their immediate vicinity exaggerate their woes in an effort to victimize others. Consequently, they feel the need to reason things out before taking a position rather than empathizing with everyone. Have you unwittingly fallen for a lie? Number 5. They are emotionally autonomous. The Sigma INFJ cannot be made to care about anything until they choose do so. Similar to how no one can control how the Sigma INFJ responds to provocative or triggering circumstances. These see themselves as distinct creatures, therefore their emotions are independent of what others think and feel. They can be sensitive to the needs and feelings of others, but not to the point that it compromises their own happiness. They also don't want their emotions to be considerably affected by outside factors, since doing so might just prevent them from finding true happiness. Therefore, it is understandable why individuals, especially those who crave control, would be afraid of them. They can't manipulate the Sigma's reality because doing so could result in a slammed door. Number 4. They are curious to find out more. Someone who is constantly seeking for new information, methods, and experiences. INFJs with a Sigma can scare off people who merely want the status quo. They intimidate people who want to stick with what they know and stay in their comfort zones. They simply want to learn more. This does not imply that they are daring and unplanned. They tolerate their ignorance more and more as they gain knowledge. Thus, the daily need for wisdom and information is natural for Sigma INFJs, regardless matter what others may think. They frighten everyone who doubts their abilities from this point on. Even those who don't believe they have the skills and intelligence to handle challenging circumstances may be disappointed. So the last thing you would want to do is underestimate the Sigma INFJ if you have a tendency to minimize someone's potential. Are you unstoppable when it comes to learning new things if you're an INFJ Sigma? Number 3. When necessary, they speak up. The Sigma INFJ used to be the uncomfortable or quiet person in the corner of the room, which is another reason why others are terrified of them. Till suddenly they feel the need to speak and shock everyone with their ideas. When necessary, Sigma INFJs won't hold back, especially when it comes to issues that are important to them. INFJs won't refrain from interfering and the like when it comes to religious beliefs, societal structures, stereotypes, stigma, and other concerns that conventional people have skewed. They discussed their intricate and profound opinions on issues like abortion, divorce, flawed educational systems, and dubious beliefs that, if left ignored, they believe might destroy relationships. From this point on, people will be incomprehensible and avoid having any more intellectual discussions with the Sigma. Number 2. They cannot be managed. Sigma INFJs take pride in making their own decisions, adhering to their own standards, and upholding their own values. They keep to themselves and don't let anyone tell them what to do. Therefore, they act without thinking twice or seeking anyone's permission when they decide to follow a path, or do anything that might have caught their attention. At the end of the day, Sigma INFJs are the most familiar with themselves. Additionally, they are aware that no one cares about them as deeply as they do. Therefore, if someone approaches the Sigma INFJ with unwanted advice, they risk incurring their fury. Have you ever rejected an INFJ Sigma who sought to influence your decision-making? Number 1. They have no problem ending unhealthy partnerships. Because of their compassion and forbearance, Sigma INFJs might make some individuals feel complacent. However, they won't have any trouble ending the connection permanently if it starts to act abusively again. They have no boundaries when it comes to preserving their mental health and inner tranquility, even if it means spending the rest of their lives by themselves. Therefore, those who are preoccupied with and reliant upon them ought to exercise caution in how they treat these emotionally free and autonomous humans. They seek out influential people or maintain relationships that blatantly harm them. The Sigma INFJ is feared for a variety of reasons. The Sigma INFJs are aware that none of these causes are their fault. Have you ever separated from your loved ones to enforce your limits as an INFJ Sigma? How did you feel after that?